Hello everyone, it's Retro. Thank you for joining me today. There's so many things to talk about and what's coming for Path of Exile 2. These updates are a game changer for beginners and anyone who's just been afraid of the original Path of Exile. I would like to share all the updates to you guys and for just anyone who hasn't been reading the news. So let's start with one of the biggest features, the passive skill tree. It's still massive with over 1,500 nodes, but don't let that intimidate you. One of the most significant changes is how easy it is to refund points. Now, if you make a mistake or regret a choice, you can simply refund the node by spending a small amount of gold. This means no more rare refund items or fear of permanently messing up your build. This was actually added to the current league of Path of Exile. Plus, there's a search bar, so if you're playing melee, just type in melee, it will highlight all the relevant nodes. You can experiment freely because even if you don't like your build, you can refund everything and just try again. But as you get farther, the gold cost will increase, so that's something to keep in mind as you keep progressing. So moving on to skills and gems, they have been completely revamped. Remember in Path of Exile 1 how frustrating it was to find items with exact socket colors and the links you needed? Well, guess what? That's freaking gone. Now you're going to find skill gems through quests, vendors, and even loot drops. Simply right-click a gem to learn the skill and apply it. Support gems work the same way. You right-click it, then select the skill you want to enhance, and you're basically just good to go. No more worrying about socket configurations. This system focuses on building the skills you want, not fighting with your inventory. It's cleaner, faster, and a lot more fun. So loot in Path of Exile 2 feels more exciting because the socket and link systems are no longer the limits of what you can use. You can now evaluate items for their stats and mods rather than dismissing an item for their bad links or colors. Items are divided into 4 rarities: normal, magic, rare, and unique. They can be upgraded using currency items. So for example, an orb of transmutation upgrades a normal item to magic, and then a regal orb can turn it into a rare with additional mods. These systems encourage you to experiment with crafting while keeping loot drops very rewarding. So looking at the campaign, the structure is straightforward for newcomers. You're going to start with Acts 1, 2, and 3, which offer about 20 to 25 hours of gameplay for new players. Initially, Acts 4, 5, and 6 won't be available in early access, but they're going to be added later into the game. Instead, you'll just replay Acts 1 through 3 on harder difficulty called Cruel Mode, so you can hit level 65. Then you can dive into the Endgame content. There's so much content in the Endgame that you can spend at least a few hundred hours figuring it all out, and that's something everyone will have to do in the beginning. They have brought back old league mechanics, each with their own passive skill tree, so no more focusing on a giant tree picking 2 or 3 mechanics to run. Let's talk about the first one called Breach. When you activate a Breach, wave of demons flood the map. You kill them quickly to extend your timer and maximize your loot. Breach rewards include catalysts for upgrading jewelry and breach rings, which you can reach up to 50% quality for huge bonuses. If you're also lucky, you can also collect breach stones, which allows you to face the ultimate breach boss. Defeat this pinnacle encounter, you're going to earn unique items and 2 additional Atlas passive points to supercharge your future breaches. Expedition is another mechanic that rewards careful planning. Team up with the Calgurans to unearth ancient relics, but beware, these sites are crawling with enemies. You're going to want to place explosives strategically to maximize your rewards and activate powerful remnants. They amplify your loot, but also add dangerous penalties. Afterward, you can trade with the Calgurans merchants like Rogue, who offers unique crafting services, or Gwen, who specializes in gambling for rare items. For an even greater challenge, you can run logbooks, a massive expedition map with tougher enemies and bigger rewards. Next, there's Ritual. Rituals resurrect slain enemies within a circle, locking you into the area. If you survive the encounter, you earn tribute, which can be spent on valuable rewards like Omens. These are powerful items that activate under specific conditions and can turn the tide in crafting or combat. So for example, an Omen might ensure your next crafting attempt removes a specific modifier or adds multiple new ones. Finally, there's Delirium. It's a mechanic that's going to test your limits. When a map is affected by Delirium, a silvery fog rolls in, making enemies tougher but also more rewarding. If you clear the map quickly, you earn distilled emotions, which can enhance your gear or add layers of difficulty to your maps for even greater rewards. You can collect simulacrum splinters to assemble a simulacrum, where you're going to face waves of enemies challenging bosses for unparalleled loot. And of course, the Atlas is full of other mechanics too. You're going to encounter strong boxes packed with loot and enemies, essences that allows for target crafting, and corrupted areas where defeating enemies spawns dangerous portals to other dimensions. Take on these challenges to gain incredible rewards and strengthen your character. So Exiles, the Atlas of Worlds is waiting for you. Explore its depth, master its mechanics, claim the power that lies within. The path is not going to be easy, but the rewards will be worth it. So good luck out there. Next, let's talk about the mapping system. If you die during a map, it's no longer available, but don't worry, there's a reset option if you get stuck. This adds stakes while keeping up the progression manageable. Finally, let's talk about one of the coolest additions, the Fortress. This is a massive structure that appears in the endgame. It's surrounded by a deadly maze, and to enter, you're going to need 3 keys guarded by faction leaders. Each leader is an uber boss with 2 lieutenants. You'll need strategy and skill to take them down. If you fail, they'll move to a new location, adding tension and replayability to these encounters. So guys, December 6th is almost here. What class are you guys going to play? I hope all you beginners out there enjoyed this little overview guide, and it's just really what to expect going into early access. If you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one.